How do I start this? Sorry, I gave it no thought whatsoever.
Hi, I'm Liev Schreiber. What's up?
He had big Cotton Weary energy in this movie.
Oh, that's all I could think about.
We're talking franchises here, bud.
All right, welcome to the show. Oh man, that's terrible. It's time to finish the Oh Man this week. With the final two Omen movies, The Omen from the year 2006, which is a remake, like a really direct remake. It's like shot for shot. Fucking Gus Van Sant could have made this fucking thing. And then you got The First Omen, which just came out a couple months ago. We're also covering Damien, which aired on A&E for one season in 2016. We watched the pilot of that. All right, and it was interesting. We'll get into all of it today on the show. I'm Daniel Ehrenberg. Over there's Logan Adair. How's it going?
It's going pretty good, except for the fact that I had to watch the Omen remake, and I am a devout hater of the Omen remake. I didn't know it until yesterday, but fuck that movie. I'm ready to
Real,
talk about it.
really?
Totally.
I had no idea. I had no strong reaction to it myself. I know multiple people that are enjoyers of that film, devout enjoyers. Okay,
I'm not one of them.
I'm ready for Logan to come out of the gate hot today.
Yeah.
All right.
My alarm's going off.
Jesus Christ.
But I didn't hate like all of it. I mean, you're right. A lot of it's a shot for shot remake, but they're like, let's remake The Omen, but everything that was good, let's make it bad. Basically, is what they decided to do, and we'll
it's
get into it.
it's basically the same movie except way more histrionic and way more melodramatic at every turn. Like they add like okay, the I mean we'll get into it in a minute, but like the great scene in the original Omen where the girl jumps, the nanny kills herself and she hangs herself off the side of the house and says it's all for you, Damien, or
Of
whatever.
course.
In this one, she does that too, but also then we get a slow motion shot of her shoe falling off and it lands on the buffet table of the birthday party and sends the wine spilling everywhere. Like it's
Not
shit like that. Or like in the original, the priest, he gets like impaled by a thing. And in this one, it has to happen during a hurricane.
Yeah, but we'll back to that birthday party. She hangs herself, and part of the cool of the first movie, she hangs herself and she goes crashing into a window. You know
Yeah.
what they decide to do in the Omen remake? Not have her crash into a window. She just like hangs there and like smacks into the wall, and then is just hanging there for a while.
Yeah. I'd
What a dumb
forgotten.
decision.
I agree. But they had to focus on that shoe,
You
you
can
know?
easily do both.
I agree.
What the
But
hell?
I'd forgotten about the window until we watched Damien. I watched that there was like a little shot of that.
Totally. And in the first Omen, they crash into a window also. They do the same thing where she burns herself also. They add another cool element. But they still make her crash into the window. That's crucial.
It's crucial. It's crucial. More. Get it together. John Moore. He's all about more, Logan.
More is better.
More is better. But in this case, he missed something. And that something is a
Yeah.
window.
By the way, a little thread. I don't know if it was hanging for you, but it was for me. I mentioned week one. I was trying to think of who Lee Remick is today. And then it hit me. I don't know how it hit me. I wasn't watching any of this person's movies, but Carrie Russell is Lee Remick of today. What do you
I
think about
love
that?
it. I love it.
Yeah, she just has Lee Remick energy. Kind of looks like her too. Similar eyes.
Is that why I'm so enamored of Lee Remick? Because I've always been such a Carrie Russell fan.
It's possible. I even thought about looking up their middle names to see if it was like an is it an anagram? What is it where you like mix up because they kind of have some Carrie Russell, Lee Remick. They got lots of R's and L's and E's. I was like, I wonder if you could I am Lord Voldemort their names.
Logan, did you know that there is a T-shirt in my home, a Felicity T-shirt that I had made?
You
It
had
didn't.
made.
Yeah, it didn't exist.
At the
So when
boardwalk or something?
no, I don't. I think I sent away for it on a website.
Oh, cool.
All right. It was like when I was in elementary school, there was this girl in my school. It might have been like junior high. Anyway, her mom worked for the WB in marketing.
Okay.
Okay. And after the first season of Felicity, the first season ends with Felicity. Okay. She can either go meet Noel
I think you
at
just
the
cut out. I don't understand what Felicity just did just now.
what? I didn't even finish what I was saying.
Oh, you said it ended with Felicity. No, I didn't hear anything. I don't know what she just
Well,
did.
I just all right. Well, it was two options for Felicity. She could either go to the airport and meet Noel, okay, or she could stay behind at the University of New York, which was their fake NYU, and spend the summer in the dorms with Ben, okay. And this girl whose mom worked at the WB in marketing, she had a T-shirt and it just said Ben or Noel on it.
Yeah.
And I was always jealous of that shirt, Logan. So as an adult in my 30s, I ordered a T-shirt on the internet and just asked them to put Ben or Noel on it.
You just went back to the same one you saw. You didn't have any.
I always wanted that T-shirt, but it's not really available. It was just because her mom worked in marketing.
I would have tried to find a new one. Like that old one would have had so many bad memories, I think.
But, well, I changed it up. I made it a brighter color.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, because hers was black and I made mine teal.
Oh, I like teal.
Yeah, me too.
Anytime I order any kind of shirt, I always just ordered like a standard gray or black too, though.
Well,
I don't
you
want to
know
get too
what?
crazy and then end up not liking it.
Well, I love my Ben or Noel T-shirt. I wear it regularly, Logan. I've worn it
Oh,
within the last 7 days.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Look at that.
All right, let's get into the
Who do you
Omen.
like, Ben or Noel? Which one did you prefer?
I'll tell you what. At the time, if you asked me, I would have said Noel. But rewatching the show, I'm a Ben guy.
Wow, that's sort of magic.
Yeah. All right. All right. Uh, the Omen remake. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, Jesus. He's got so much malice in his heart for this Omen remake. All right. It's directed by a fella named John Moore. And do you know anything about this guy?
I feel like I did, yeah. I don't
All
remember
right.
now.
He was a fledgling commercial director. And then his big break, he directed the commercial for the launch of the Sega Dreamcast.
That's huge.
Huge. And the Sega Dreamcast commercial, so impressed, you might think DreamWorks, but it's not 20th Century Fox. So impressed 20th Century Fox that they hired him to direct a film called Behind Enemy Lines.
Yeah.
All
Ewan
right.
McGregor.
It's not Ewan McGregor. It's Owen Wilson and Gene Hackman. And I remember in the trailer, they had that song, Hey Man, Nice Shot by Filter. All right.
Oh, that's cool.
Great song. All right. He follows that up with Flight of the Phoenix, which tanks, right? So then they're like, let's give him something a little lower budget. And you guessed it, it's this Omen remake. All right. And this was a hit. This was a hit for him. It got him right back in business. But right after this, he did Max Payne. I read that he was driven nuts on the set of Max Payne and had to get sober afterwards. He's been sober since the making of Max Payne.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know. And he followed that up with A Good Day to Die Hard, the only terrible Die Hard movie. And since then, he's only made one movie. It's called IT, and it's got Pierce Brosnan in it. I don't know much about it.
I
Anybody
never
seen
seen
IT out there?
I never seen A Good Day to Die Hard, but you could argue the only bad Die Hard. The other ones are pretty good.
No, agreed. And I remember so much thinking that when I saw A Good Day to Die Hard in theaters, I had Phantom Menace syndrome with it, where I was like,
Wow.
well, there's still no bad Die Hard movie. It's just that's probably the worst Die Hard movie. But then, like, when we rewatched it for the podcast, I was like, all right, it's bad.
That was the second and only other time you saw it for the podcast.
I believe so. Yeah. Haven't seen it since the third episode of this franchise series.
And there's no urge to go back.
No urge whatsoever. I never need to see what's the guy's name? Jai. Thank you so much, Jai Courtney, as John McClane's son ever again. All right.
Yeah.
I much prefer Mary Elizabeth Winstead as his daughter. So he directs this Omen remake. The only reason they made it is to coincide with the release date. Like, that's literally the only reason they made it.
Which I understand is a necessity.
Yeah,
legitimately, I do. I get that.
It's June 6th, 2006. Very marketable. What's weird about that, though, is it's not even a Friday.
Why is it crazy it's not a Friday?
I don't know. I would think like that would be what they're doing. Like they time it out. Like, oh, Friday the 13th.
We already have 666. We need another thing on top of this.
No, but movies come out on Fridays, Logan.
Not when it's the Omen remake coming out on 666. That's special.
It was a fucking Tuesday. What movie comes out on a Tuesday?
We bend rules for the Omen remake.
Well, we fucking did. All right. We bent mad rules for this. Not only that, but did you notice the screenplay credit?
Yeah. Well, what was it?
It's written by David Seltzer, okay, who wrote the original Omen. And I'm like, that can't be right. But he's still writing movies? Yeah. And they hired him to rewrite his movie? No, Logan, here's what happened. They hired a guy named Dan McDermott to write this remake. And his script was so close to the original script that the Writers Guild wouldn't give him a credit.
Good. Fuck that guy. This is just the other movie. What is he talking about? He came up with no new ideas.
Isn't that crazy, though? I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Like, there's nothing new here. Can you name one thing?
No.
Me either.
That Dan McDermott guy, by the way, he would go on to write an excellent film, Logan. Okay. I'm talking about Eagle Eye.
Ooh, I hate that one.
You hate Eagle Eye?
Yeah, kind of.
I saw Eagle Eye in theaters, man. It was still Shia mania. I remember it was like 1 year after Disturbia, and I was like, if Shia can do this once a year, I'm on the Shia train.
Well, I already was, because he had made Disturbia right before that, and then Eagle Eye, and then I was like, oh no, Shia, what are you doing? But also in that movie,
Eagle Eye's all right. It's got that voice. It's like Shia jumped from the Julianne Moore, story of the window. Oh, is that? I was making like a deep man voice, but I guess it is Julianne Moore. Yeah.
But he has like a romantic relationship with Michelle Monaghan, and I don't think that Shia and Michelle work at all together.
Yeah, because at that point in his career, Shia seemed like he still didn't have his pubes in.
Right. No, totally.
And like Michelle Monaghan, like the previous year, all right, like Shia was in Disturbia, where he was like a high school kid, and Transformers, where he was a high school kid. And Michelle Monaghan was like married to Casey Affleck in Gone Baby Gone.
Yeah, there are two completely different stages. It doesn't make sense to me.
It was weird, man. And like 2 years earlier, her love interest was Tom Cruise. Imagine your love interest being Tom Cruise, and then 2 years later, your love interest is Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, Hollywood's weird.
Hollywood's insane. All right. Anyway, June 6th, 2006.
Were you there? What happened?
I'd never seen this until yesterday.
No way.
This was all new to me.
Mm-hmm. There are actually a few remakes I feel like you haven't seen. The Crazies.
Yep.
The Invisible Man. Let me in. I've
never seen the Stepfather remake with the guy from Nip Tuck, but now that I'm watching Nip Tuck, I want to watch it.
You ever see Fright Night?
I hadn't, but I think I did, like for some list I was doing.
Okay.
Quarantine. I don't remember anything about it. I still haven't seen that Fright Night remake. But can I give you a fun fact, Logan? You know who wrote that?
Who?
Marty Noxon.
I think you told me that
one. The Vampire Slayer. That's right.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm. There's a few that I haven't seen, and today will be. Maybe we should jump right into it.
Should we do that?
We made a list of our top 10 horror remakes of all time. Let's see if The Omen ended up on either one of these lists. Oh, listen to this guy. Maybe we should have done that list too.
We will.
Yeah.
We'll rank all of them.
We're gonna do a little Patreon episode at some point where we rank all the horror remakes. But we've got our top tens here on the main show. Logan, I'd like to hear yours first.
I think we should trade. Or you want to do like, well, I don't care. My number 10, I put this on my list because I know you're not going to do it on yours. And I think this is good just because it's a different sort of genre than the first movie. I like how hardcore this movie is. I went Evil Dead, Fede Alvarez version.
The 2013 Evil Dead?
I'm giving it a little shout out, number 10. I could have gone with Prom
garbage.
Night. I could have gone Piranha, could have gone It, but I went Evil Dead.
All right. Jesus. I'm already off to a bad start. What's number 9?
Number 9. That's for the listeners, though, that know you're not going to say it, but like that movie. I think there's a few. Number 9,
probably are.
I went Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead.
It's on my list.
I think my complaint with the original Dawn of the Dead, not enough characters. This one adds in a lot of characters. Some good, some bad, but
and a lot of them are likable. You got Sarah Polly in there and shit.
Ving Rhames and his nice relationship on the roof with that guy. That's like the best part of the movie.
That is
the girl with the dog. That's cool.
Who could forget the girl with the dog?
Yeah. Number 8, I put the remake of Friday the 13th. Okay, I love that movie.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a remake of the first 4.
Exactly.
It's a best of.
See, that one does it right. This is just like a remake of The Omen. That you have Baghead Jason. You have why is it? I don't understand why he kidnaps that girl. That never made a lot of sense to me. But aside from that,
but isn't it like his sister? I don't know.
It looks like his mom. She looks
that's
like his
what
mom,
it is.
so
That's
he
what it
kidnaps
is.
her. But
you know who plays that girl, Logan?
Danielle Panabake? No, she's somebody else.
No, it's Seth Cohen's young hot aunt from the OC.
Really?
Yeah. Kirsten's younger sister who dated Jimmy.
I thought she had brown hair in the Friday the 13th movie.
Well, she also has brown hair on the OC. I don't know what you're talking about.
I thought she had blonde hair on the OC.
No.
Kirsten's sister? All right. So that's number 8, Friday the 13th. Yeah, that's like the first 4 movies. Great time. And some of the best kills in the whole franchise, like the arrow, shoot the guy with the arrow, the guy perfect nipple placement.
I was gonna say perfect nipple placement. Yeah, that's one of the all-time great moments in a slasher film.
Totally. Number 7 is Lee Whannell's The Invisible Man. This was a good one. I've never seen any other Invisible. All the other ones I've never seen the original. All the other ones going up here.
That's interesting. I wonder if I could have gone with Hollow Man, the Paul Verhoeven film. Does that count?
I don't know. Is it a remake of Hollow Man?
It's an Invisible Man movie.
I guess
I don't know. Yeah, I guess, but that's a good one. The Lee Whannell Invisible Man. People don't talk about it a lot because I feel like it happened like right before COVID,
right?
And it was like the last hit before COVID, and then I don't know, it just sort of got lost in the ether. But yeah, that's a good one, man. Elizabeth Moss, she should. I mean, I love Elizabeth Moss. It's always hard to praise her though because of the Scientology thing.
Yeah, The Invisible Man. Yeah, that's good. It's about like abuse trauma and stuff. That's a cool take on it.
Well,
cool score, really good score.
I'm sick of abuse trauma stuff, but that movie does it well.
And great restaurant scene. I always think about that.
If you guys that is good. I forgot about that.
Number 6 is a remake. A guy remade his own movie. Can you believe that? Michael Haneke remade this one. It's called Funny Games. I never saw the old one, as I said, but this is pretty good.
I didn't think about that one. I didn't consider it for the list, but it might deserve to be on there.
Well, the way I did it, I looked at like 6 different letterbox lists of horror remakes, and then I added all the ones I hadn't seen to one list. And that was on there. Funny Games. And then number 5, speaking of Naomi Watts, The Ring.
Yeah. The Ringu.
Yeah.
Now, we should cover those eventually. But The Ring, doesn't it have like a suicidal horse?
Suicidal Horse?
Yeah, is that movie?
I don't remember. It could be.
Yeah, I think that's the one. That's the part I always remember.
I don't remember that. But yeah, that's The Ring. That's pretty good stuff. And you can't have a horror remake list without Gore Verbinski, right? That's a pretty funny joke. Gore.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Number 4, I watched this movie the other day. All right, haven't logged on Letterboxd. Daniel doesn't know what I'm going to say.
Can you log things on Letterboxd?
I like surprising you. I think it's fun.
All
But
right.
you don't
all
like
right.
it, so maybe I'll go back to logging it on Letterboxd. But it was perfect timing. We are doing the horror remake list. Donald Sutherland just died. I watched Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and that's number
Yeah.
4 on my list.
What a
Pretty good
film.
one. I have some complaints about it, but there we go. Number 4. Number 3, David Cronenberg's The Fly. Not that scary, but it's
Can
a
I
good
just
movie.
say? Can I just say right off the bat that that's my number 3? We match
I
on that
love
one.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, but am I right about that? That's not that scary, but it's good.
It's gross.
It's gross.
Here's the
Cool.
thing. The Fly, I don't know when you saw it, but I saw it for the first time way too young. I was like 10 or 11 or something. And it's disgusting. And it did scare me.
That's fair. I was 22 or whatever. So.
Yeah. It probably wouldn't have hit me as hard if I saw it at 22. But like, I'm just like, let me watch this movie with like Malcolm from Jurassic Park in it. And then like all of a sudden his like fingernails are coming off and shit. And I'm like, God.
Yeah. I don't like her relation. She has like another relationship with some guy. And I don't like that section of the movie. Whoever that guy is. But anyway, so number 2, Matt Reeves. This is one you haven't seen, but I like this. I like it a whole lot, and you'd like it too. I don't know why you haven't seen it. Really, Let Me In. It's like 2 middle schoolers falling in love, but one's a vampire, and she kills his bullies for him. It's pretty cool.
I'll watch that eventually. It's on some list I made, but yeah, that I like the original, and then when that came out, here's what happened: I bought a ticket to go see it. All right, that was the plan. And it was like a week after I saw The Social Network that was still in theaters, and it was starting at the same time. And at the last second, I decided to just go watch that again.
Yeah, somebody opened the door to walk in, and you heard the score, and you were like, "God damn it!" So you just walked right back in.
Probably.
That's kind of a good story. That's actually a great story. But check it out. Watch Let Me In. I think it's really good. There we go.
All right, I
Number
will.
2. Did Matt Reeves make Cloverfield? Who made Cloverfield?
Matt Reeves did make Cloverfield, and he also directed the first few episodes of the aforementioned Felicity.
Oh, I think this is up there with Cloverfield. Like this, you'll like this more than his Apes movies, more than Batman. I think you'll really like
Batman.
The Batman, right? And number 1, obviously, come on, what are we doing here? It's The Thing, John Carpenter. I never saw the old one or the is it a prequel? That new one, Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Logan, I forgot about The Thing.
Okay, so The Fly is number 4 now, and The Thing is number 1 on your list.
Yeah, The Thing should probably be number 1.
Yeah, it's perfect.
But I'll read you my list as it's
My whole life, The Thing was my favorite Carpenter movie. I always had that take. Like everyone was like, "Oh, Halloween, Halloween," and I was like, "No, The Thing." But now I'm Halloween. I'm more Halloween, but I still love
I also think that's become a more popular take that The Thing is his best movie.
I flopped back now though.
Yeah,
now I'm Team Halloween.
All right, gang. Here's my top 10. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Our only match 'em ups are Invasion of the Body Snatchers, The Fly, and my number 10 film, the Friday the 13th remake. All
love
right.
It.
That's the only thing on here from the big horror remake boom of the mid-aughts, heralded by my good friends at Platinum Dunes. There are a bunch of fun ones. I like the My Bloody Valentine remake. I like the Prom Night remake. I like some others probably.
Last House on the Left is kind of fun.
Yep, that's a good remake. I'm with you on that. But no, they're the best one, Friday the 13th. Number 9. Here's a film that people hate, Logan.
Ooh.
But I'm here to say they're wrong.
What about Amityville Horror? That's kind of fun. People underrate
That's a good one too. I agree. I like Rachel Nichols as the slutty babysitter.
Ooh, that one's like pretty scary. There's some scary moments in that.
Yeah.
I could think of 2 right now. Yeah.
All right. So listen, people hate this movie. It's because the original is such a classic, Logan.
Are you gonna say never mind, keep going?
I'm talking about my number 9, the 2006 Nicolas Cage remake of The Wicker Man.
See, I thought you were going to be done with the 2000s movies because you just said that was like the one boom from the 2000s.
Well, I don't consider that really a part of it because it's like a weird Neil LaBute thing, but I guess it could be.
And by the way, Funny Games would be on your list, wouldn't it? Probably. If you had included it.
Probably Funny Games and The Thing. I missed those.
Okay. So yeah, I've never seen either one of these, and
All
I hear
right.
both of them are pretty good.
They're both great. I mean, the original is a classic, but I think that second one's underrated. People make fun of it and
The
like,
bees, right?
yeah, exactly. Like there are like meme worthy things in that
He's a
movie.
bear at one point.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. If you watch it like not just like random scenes on the internet, like as a complete film, I think it works.
Okay. All right. I'll watch it.
All right, number 8. The okay, you know how Invasion of the Body Snatchers is great from 1978?
Sure.
Well, Abel Ferrara remade it again in 1993, and that remake's great too. So I
Okay.
put them both on my list.
I
Over
love that.
here, it's just called Body Snatchers.
The Invasion didn't make the cut.
No, it didn't make the cut. And you know what's wild is later on they made another remake with Nicole Kidman and Daniel Craig. That one's just the Invasion.
That's what I meant. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. Oh,
The
I
Invasion.
see what you're saying. But
You didn't
I thought
include
you meant
Faculty, did you?
no. That's
I
not a remake.
Yeah, I was really hoping. I was like, he's gonna try to do that. I was
No
hoping he would.
way.
Good.
All right, number 7. I have here the remake of Night of the Living Dead that we covered
Wow.
the show. Yeah,
Stunned.
by what's that guy? The makeup
Don
guy.
Mancini. No, not Don Mancini. What's the guy's name?
No,
Tom
you know
Savini. Tom
Tom
Savini.
Savini.
I was very close. Don Mancini. Very similar
Yeah.
names.
The great Tony Todd. I really enjoy that movie.
Yeah, it's good. I'm very surprised it's this high though.
Yeah,
You don't think Piranha's better than this one?
No.
All right.
Number 6 on the list. That's where I have Zachy Boys, Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I pop those boys back to back. Number 5. How about this one from 1988? I'm talking about The Blob.
Wow, the Blob. Who made
The
is this
Blob.
Wes Craven? Who made the Blob?
No, I don't even know if it's anyone super. You know, I think it's Chuck Russell, the guy who later directed The Mask.
Yeah,
But he also directed like Dream Warriors, Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
yeah, he's a weird guy. That's actually the first one I thought of. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a cool director. But The Blob fucking rules, dude. And you know, the two leads of The Blob, this is gonna make you want to see it, Logan.
Mm-hmm.
Shawnee Smith from Saw.
Yep. You didn't have to say the other one. I'm in.
Of course, E from Entourage, Kevin Dillon.
That does nothing. Why do you think that was going to excite me?
That was just a joke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, but that's a great movie, The Blob. I like the original too, but the remake's even better.
By the way, Little Shop of Horrors is considered a horror remake. Did you put that on your list?
I think it's a musical remake, if you ask me.
What about Bram Stoker's Dracula? Or any Dracula, I guess you could have on your list. That's the only one I've seen, though.
If you want.
All right. Keep going. I'm sorry to interrupt.
All right. No, it's okay. Number 4 on the list. Written and directed by Glenn Morgan. One of my favorite X-Files writers. His partner on the X-Files was James Wong, who went off and did Final Destination. But Glenn Morgan, who, by the way, directed another horror remake, Black Christmas, with Michelle Trachtenberg.
Okay.
Before that, he made an even better one with the great Crispin Glover. I'm talking about Willard.
Yeah, I saw that on a bunch of lists. I was like, oh, yeah, Dan's going to love that one.
I fucking love that movie.
Turns out. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Number 3, The Fly.
Number 3, The Fly. Did you ever see Black Christmas? Is that a good one?
I've seen both the original and the Glenn Morgan version, not the other one.
What other one?
They made a second remake of that movie in like 2019. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But Trachtenberg, that one's not very good.
No, I like it. I actually considered it for the list.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never heard anything about it, really.
I feel like a lot of people hate it, but I feel like it's like The Wicker Man, where the original is just held in such high esteem among horror nerds that like they're unwilling to see anything else.
Right. It's kind of like Halloween. Like Halloween's probably better than we say it is.
No, it's not. Michael Myers
so?
is 7 feet tall in that movie and played by Kevin Nash. It's fucking ridiculous.
But I kind of like how brutal it is. It's like I like
it's
how
not.
hardcore.
It's not a matter of brutal. It's just like that kid didn't grow up into like a fucking wrestler.
He might have.
Get real.
We don't know.
All right. Number 2 on the list, I'm talking about Paul Schrader's 1980s remake of Cat People.
Wow. You like that much?
That's an incredible film.
Isn't that an anthology or no?
No, you're thinking of Cat's Eye.
Oh, I am thinking of Cat's Eye.
There you go. Yeah, that's different. But Cat People, of course, is a 1942 horror movie, which is great in its own right. But if you want to see that, but amped up to be much more horny, I recommend Paul Schrader's Cat People. What a film.
All right, I'm interested.
All right. And my number 1, I went with Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah, well, it would be the thing. Otherwise, if it was on the list, probably.
What?
It would be the thing, though, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the thing's better.
Yeah, but that's a good pick. I mean, the only ones I have ahead of it are The Fly, Let Me In, The Thing, and you didn't put Let Me In or The Thing on the list, so The Fly is the only one ahead of it.
To be honest, I probably prefer Cat People to Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It just felt like Invasion of the Body Snatchers felt more like a number 1 to me.
And hats off to Donald a little bit this week.
Yeah. R.I.P. to the great Donald Sutherland.
He's great in that movie, though, by the way.
He's great in everything.
Yeah, he is.
Including Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I mean, literally everything though. Like I watched this like schlocky ABC nighttime soap called Dirty Sexy Money that got canceled after 2 seasons. And Donald Sutherland lent such gravitas towards that show. He made it seem so much better than it was.
Gravitas is a good word for him.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
There's our list.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Notice the Omen nowhere to be found.
No. Let's hear more about the Omen though.
Yeah.
So I read that the Julia Stiles part was originally offered to Rachel Weisz.
Wow, she'd have been great.
Yeah, she turned it down. Then they hired Stiles, and Stiles had just done a play with Mia Farrow, and she was like, "You should get Mia Farrow in this thing."
Wow. Well, shout out to Julia. That was a good idea.
Yeah. All right. This had a $25 million budget, and it made one what?
They could have just bought so many cool things with that money. It's just so crazy.
Could have donated it to a children's shelter. All right. It made $120 million at the box office and came in at number 59 for the year. Made slightly less money than The Guardian, which I think has Kevin Costner in it, and slightly more money than Final Destination 3, the best Final Destination film.
It's true.
And it was even nominated for a couple of awards, Logan.
Wow. All right. What do we got here?
All right. Do you want to start with the Teen Choice Awards or the Golden Raspberries?
It's the Teen Choice Award.
All right. We'll go positive first.
Yeah.
Julia Stiles was nominated for the great award, Best Scream.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. And she lost, Logan, to Keira Knightley for Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest.
I like that choice. She has a great scream in that one.
And this film was also nominated in the category of Best Thriller. Actually, I think it's Choice Thriller. I think the Teen Choice Awards, it's always Choice, whatever. And it lost that award to Red Eye.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I love Red Eye. Way better.
It's the raspberries, no razzmatazz. Well, all we're lacking is a little pizzazz, 'cause it's the golden raspberries. It's the worst of the worst, not the best of the best. It's pizzazz gone raz.
And the Golden Raspberries nominated David Thewlis in the category of Worst Supporting Actor.
What?
Yep. And he lost to M. Night Shyamalan for his great performance in The Lady in the Water.
That's an amazing choice. How is Thewlis nominated for Worst Supporting Actor? He's probably the MVP of this thing.
Is he?
I wrote down 2 people, and I wrote down Thewlis and Farrow, so I guess we can pick between those 2.
You don't feel good about Liev?
I don't. I thought he was so boring.
Here's the thing about Liev, though. Here's what I'll give him.
He's like the least vulnerable actor ever. He's just always trying to look cool, I feel like.
That's not true.
Really, I feel like he like.
What about his great performance as a transvestite in Mixed Nuts? That's
All
not
right.
a cool performance.
Well, I haven't seen that, but all the ones I've seen, he's just always he cares so much about how he looks. I feel like.
I don't know. I thought he got vulnerable here. The scene where he finds out that his wife, the baby died in childbirth.
Yeah.
I feel like in the original Omen, Gregory Peck doesn't have much of a reaction. He's just sort of processing as a man. And Liev Schreiber got a little bit of a breakdown here. I was impressed.
All right, I guess that's his best scene.
It is. It is. I'm not saying he's great throughout, but that to me was like taking a scene, where that's all we're doing is taking scenes from the original and redoing them. And he added a little something.
All right,
Liev flavor.
That's fair. But I was watching him. I was like, all right, Liev, you've been the only one on screen for 5 minutes. Give me something. Give me anything, Liev. Go. And then, but he wasn't really doing it. I was getting really frustrated with him.
There's a lot of scenes in this movie where Liev like corners somebody and like has to convince them of something. And every time he did it, it reminded me of that scene in Scream 2 where he pulls aside Sydney and tries to get her on Diane Sawyer.
Yeah. Like when she's in the library.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's back. Yeah, that's great. I thought a lot of Scream 3, actually. Like when at the opening of Scream. Well, I guess he's only in the opening of Scream 3. But when he's trying to find the killer. I thought, by the way, I looked up Scream 3 after the movie. Because in this movie, he's like Kate, calling her Kate. And I thought about the opening of Scream 3. He's running around looking for his girlfriend. I was like, was her name Kate too? But
I think it was.
No, it's Christine.
Oh, Christine. Yeah, I can kind of hear that.
Yeah.
Played by Kelly Rutherford.
Yeah. What's that song?
Right.
There's a great
from Melrose Place and also from Gossip Girl. The Creed song you're thinking of is what if I yeah, that plays in that. All right. And I remember that the music video for that song had clips from Scream 3 in it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Watch that.
You should check it out. All right.
I mean, that might be the outro, but just know if it is the outro, I watched the video beforehand and then I clipped out the audio from the video.
Sweet.
Yeah. So just know that.
If the video I hope the video has actual Scream 3 like audio clips in it, because then that'll be in the song.
Like screams and stuff,
just like
my life, like that's in the song.
Yeah, that would be awesome. My life
would be awesome.
All right.
We have explosions are we done? Are we done with the awards?
Yeah, why not?
I remember speaking of Scream 3, one of the things in Scream 3, there's an explosion in that film.
Yeah.
The big house explodes, right?
Yeah, you don't need an explosion in a Scream movie.
You don't need one in an Omen film either, in my opinion, but we get one to start the movie. There's like a politician in a car and his car a truck backs into him and there's fire and then it explodes. And we're like 5 minutes in, we have explosions in the Omen.
It's a real like Final Destination death scene too. It's like things keep happening, like this car, like there's a homeless guy and he drops a cigarette and then there's like an oil truck, right?
A guy like he's dragging something and he pulls like the stopper that was stopping the truck, backing up. But it's like the same from the first movie. The guy gets out and like lets the brake go and it falls and backs into
this
David
is
Warner.
More complicated though. It's like this Rube Goldberg and thing. The David Warner death is also like amped up in this one, where it's like he doesn't just get decapitated, like a thing falls from a thing and hits another thing, and then
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah,
we've seen Final Destination movies at this point. It's kind of what we're ripping off a little bit.
Oh, we're 100% doing it. Listen, this came out the same year as Final Destination 3. All right, as far as I'm concerned, that opening with the politician in the car directly inspired by the freeway scene in Final Destination 2.
Yeah, totally. That's the zeitgeist right now. But I hated the explosion. Thought that was so stupid.
Me too. Who needs it?
Nobody needs it.
Nobody. That's who. Although there's an explosion in the first Omen, that kind of kicked ass.
Really? There's an explosion?
Yeah, like when everything gets set on fire at the end, you see the jackal.
Yeah, I didn't remember an explosion.
It's not really an explosion, but it's just a big fire.
Yeah, that was cool. I like
Yeah.
fire. I don't like explosions.
I guess there are different things.
Totally.
All right.
The Omen movie ends with a fire too. We like burned down that big mansion, but there's no explosion.
All right. All right. Fair enough.
Doctor Sleep too,
All
and
right.
we burned down the hotel. But it's just a fire. We don't explode. Anything.
It's a huge fire, though.
That's fine. We're on a big hotel.
All right. All right. Here's what I liked about the opening.
Yeah, what do we got?
There's a guy, and he's delivering a speech to the real higher ups of the Catholic Church. Okay, they're all sitting around the room, a bunch of priests, and then this one dude, and he's got like an overhead projector, like he's teaching a class, and he's reading from the Book of Revelation, slogan, and he's trying to tell you all like the things that are prophesied in the Book of Revelation, and it's like the mountains toppling over. All right, and then they cut to 9/11.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm 5 minutes into this Omen remake and I'm watching the fucking Twin Towers come down. What is going on? And then, even weirder, they start talking about floods and stuff. They cut to Hurricane Katrina. And I'm like, didn't that just happen like a week before this movie came out?
Yeah, we did a little re-edit to the movie to get that in
crazy.
Yeah, you're right. It's like Black Klansman. Like, didn't that happen like a year, like 6 weeks ago? How's that in the movie?
Oh, you mean the thing at the end?
Yeah, like what didn't that just happen? Like right when the movie
Charlottesville or whatever. They added that. It's true. Or there's another thing in the original South Park movie that was released like a week after Phantom Menace came out, and I remember they added a Jar Jar Binks reference at the last
Holy
second.
shit, that's amazing. Yeah. I love things like that.
Me too. All right. But great to see Hurricane Katrina in its full glory. Speaking of Spike Lee, he directed 2 feature-length 4-hour documentaries about Hurricane Katrina. Both great.
And the 9/11 movie, 25th Hour.
That's true. He loves both those things. So maybe Spike Lee be into this Omen remake.
Yeah, maybe. It's possible.
Yeah.
He loves remakes. He made Old Boy. This would be his favorite movie, the Omen remake.
I considered a Spike Lee remake for my horror ranking.
No way.
The Sweet Blood of Jesus.
Really? What's that a remake of?
Some movie.
Oh, okay. A horror movie? It's actually scary.
Yeah, it's like a vampire movie.
That's cool. One of these guys that's never made a horror movie should actually go make a horror movie. I'd be so into that.
Who?
I don't know. Martin Scorsese. Has he made a horror movie?
Of course.
What do you mean, of course?
He's made a horror movie, right?
Nothing that I can think of. Steven Spielberg. He should make a horror movie.
Cape Fear doesn't count.
No. Well, I just mentioned it.
What about Shutter Island?
Oh yeah, you're right. That'd be the one.
There you go.
Good call. And Spielberg, I guess you could say Jaws or Jurassic Park, probably.
Yeah. The Terminal.
Somebody should make one. I don't know who it is.
Spielberg's horror. It's like Schindler's List, right? Or like the first half hour of Saving Private Ryan. That's horrific. That's true horror.
Who you ask? Some people would say that's fiction.
What? Oh, yeah. Well,
depends who you ask. It's different genres.
Don't even bring that up.
Some people don't believe in that type of stuff.
But those people are terrible and deserve to die.
People might say that the dinosaurs are fiction too. People, who knows?
But they're not. Stop giving credence to these people.
I like all perspectives.
I don't.
But yeah, I think that's the difference between us. I appreciate all other perspectives, and you don't.
Because some people are just wrong.
You're right about that. But I like listening to the wrong people sometimes.
Like, what, you watching like flat earth videos on YouTube?
Definitely not. No, definitely not.
All right. Yeah, if Holocaust is fiction, that's fine. But I draw the line at flat earth.
Yeah. Right. What are you, crazy?
Okay. All right. What else you got, Logan? You seem to have stronger feelings on this film.
I mean, I got so much stuff. I mean, I really don't understand why they thought Thulis was so bad, because I thought the movie kind of picked up when Thulis came in.
This was a very Harry Potter heavy film.
It's true. It's very true. Yeah.
Because Bugenhagen was our good friend Albus Dumbledore.
That's right. The second version, though, not Richard Harris.
Yeah,
We're talking Michael Gambon.
You think Big Omen fans would have flipped out if they made Bugenhagen gay?
Yes. No, I don't know. We didn't mention the opening credits. It's like Breaking Bad. How like if you have in Breaking Bad the BR
Oh
will be like
yeah,
bromine or
it's
whatever.
all like a chemical symbol.
Right. In this one, every T turns to a crucifix and every O turns into a 6.
I gotta be honest, I didn't notice that. And
Oh, it was the best part of the
that's
opening
a
credits.
nice touch, baby.
They kind of gave up after a little while. I was like, why didn't you do one there? Why didn't you add one to that name? That would be cool. But I enjoyed it for what it was.
All right, so Julia Stiles, that T,
That's
was
right.
an upside down cross.
Or just a normal cross. I don't remember if it was upside down or
It
not.
should have been upside down. You know, we
It
love
could have been.
upside down crosses in the Omen franchise.
Yeah, true. Really, in
The
that fourth
MVP
one.
of the Omen 4, yeah.
Yeah, that was the big in the fourth one. But yeah, so then I hated this one part. It's at the birthday party. We're looking at the dog at the birthday party.
Yeah.
And then it cross dissolves to the sunset, and then it just fades to black. It was like they just did that for style and then go to black next scene. It's like, what? That was so stupid. That led to nothing.
It
did.
Was,
I fucking hated that moment.
I thought the birthday party was so funny. Like it was so wildly attended. Like there were a million people there, the carousels and ponies and shit. And it looked like one of Billy Madison's parties after he goes to like the next grade.
That's pretty funny, but I didn't mind that at all. I was like, oh, they kind of filled the scene nicely. He did a good job here.
It's just John
Moore.
Was
too big.
It's too more. It's so bombastic. Everything in this movie.
I thought it was like Coppola stepped in for a second. He was like, "All right, we're gonna fill this. We're
gonna
put you guys here in the back.
Yeah. It's gonna be like the
whoa.
fucking wedding scene from like the first 45 minutes of The Deer Hunter. All of a sudden,
that's how the Deer Hunter. I know that's how the Godfather is a big wedding scene, but that's how like Deer Hunter is too.
Deer Hunter is similar. Yeah, similar beginning.
Oh shit. Yeah. I thought it was pretty well done, but yeah, I hated the suicide there. You like Pete Postlethwaite? He was pretty cool.
He's in this? Who did he play?
He's the priest, father.
Oh, yeah. He's the one that keeps showing up. Father Bennett, who's like,
Brennan.
Yeah, that Brennan, right. And that helped me because when that character showed up in the First Omen, I remembered who it was.
You didn't know from the very first movie?
Well,
it's pretty iconic. He's the guy who gets the lightning rod.
I don't know that I would have remembered the name Brennan if I didn't watch the remake right before that.
That's fair. I might not have either, but I think I knew him as the same character, but the name I might not have known.
There you go.
So yeah, I thought he was cool.
He was fine. Like he's always good for roles like that.
True.
I like Pete Postlethwaite. It was sad when he died. He was in what's your favorite Pete Postlethwaite role?
One I think of is Lost World.
Lost World, yeah.
What else was he doing?
Honestly, that's the one I was gonna bring up too. But
he's in The Usual Suspects.
He's great in The Usual Suspects. I remember he did like The Town right before he died, and he fucking kicks ass in that movie.
He has The Town and Inception the same year.
Wow.
2010.
Wow, he was doing bangers, and then he just dropped dead.
Yeah, and Killing Bono, 2011. That's the last thing he did.
Bono.
Killing Bono.
Killing Bono? Is it about? Are they trying to kill the guy from U2?
Yeah, looks like it. Two brothers attempt to become global rock stars, but can only look on as
it's like they were like buds with U2.
Yeah, but then they become famous.
That's an interesting premise for a movie.
And they try to kill him, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Kristen Ritter's in it.
It's like that old show, Knights of Prosperity, where they're trying to rob Mick Jagger. That was the whole show.
Oh, interesting.
Donal Logue, gang.
I love any like fake versions of real things. I'm always down for that.
Me too. And they got Mick Jagger to show up in a couple episodes.
Well, I didn't know he was still around. Or was that a while ago?
It was a while ago, but he's also still around.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right. Anyway, what's next?
Oh, what's next? Mia Farrow shows up.
Mia Farrow.
It's the same plot as the
first
first one. Did we?
It's exactly the same. I mean, like to the point, like where even like little little bits and bobs that we pointed out in the first one that we liked that like were little Richard Donner additions, like the home movie footage of
Yeah.
Damien growing up. Like that's all in this too.
Not as good though. It's really
I
not
know.
as good.
All I'm saying is they changed nothing.
Changed nothing. The scene where he goes to plays hide and seek and gets lost for 2 seconds, that's in the movie. Everything you can think of is
The
in the
scene
movie.
where they go to the church and he freaks out is in the movie. The scene where they go to the zoo and the animals freak
Oh, I liked
out,
that. That was kind of
that's
fun.
in the movie. It's all there. Any scene from The Omen that you want to see with schlocky 2006 effects, you can.
Yeah, it's right here. The Omen remake.
Yeah.
But one of the best parts of the Omen, the first movie, is when Balog shows up and she says, "I am here to protect thee." That's amazing. That's such a cool part. And in this one, Mia Farrow shows. She's cool, by the way. I like her in the movie. But
She's great.
she's like, she says this. I wrote it down. She says, "Don't be afraid. I'm here to protect you." It's like, what?
No, you have to say thee. That's what's creepy about it.
Yeah, she showed up and I was like, oh, I'm about to see Mia Farrow say, "I'm here to protect thee." This is going to be freaking awesome. And then she says, "Don't be afraid. I'm here to protect you."
That sucks.
Oh, my like penis went up into my body. I felt
Mm.
it. I was so upset in that moment.
I was furious.
I was too. But anyway, so yeah, but the zoo, no giraffes. I didn't like that. We're indoors for this for the zoo. I didn't like
that. See, I liked how in the original it's like a safari.
Right.
You know, it's funny. They changed little things, but I don't think they changed anything for like artistic benefit. It was almost just like
Budget.
make it easier to shoot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that you're right about that. But I did like we break the glass. There's monkeys in there. They start like there's a big gorilla starts breaking the glass. I thought that was like Jaws 3 a little bit. One with
Oh
Dennis Quaid.
yeah. Oh hell yeah. Yeah, I also thought about Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah, that's good
Yeah.
too, especially because it's a freaking ape. I kind of liked that, even though it was indoors. That was probably one of my favorite scenes of the movie.
Yeah, that was listen, monkeys freaking out. You're not gonna lose me. I'm in.
Yeah, totally. And I feel like the little boy had a good take in that. It was like a long take, and then he said like they're afraid, and I was like, ooh, it's like a long take, and he got all that like a good scary look and the line delivery, and then back to the scary look. I was pretty impressed in that moment.
Yo,
Shut up.
I'm
What's his
I'm
name?
over here shaking my head.
You hate that?
I'm over here shaking my head because I thought this kid was the pits, man. I thought he sucked.
He's kind of famous. Not
Who
really,
is
but
he?
but he was in Moonrise Kingdom. He's like one of the 8
What?
leads of that movie. He's in Before Midnight, right after Moonrise Kingdom.
He's like one of their kids in that?
He might have been. That was my thought. I don't remember. But he plays Hank in Before Midnight. Oh, he's third build. He has to be one of their kids.
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
guess so. God damn. So he's gone on to have a career.
A little
But
bit, yeah.
to me, he brought absolutely nothing to this role.
He's in Blue Bloods and Bull, 2 of your favorite shows. So
I don't like either one of those shows, but he actually was in a show called Lights Out that got canceled after one season that I love, starring the great Holt McCallany,
oh shit.
who played
So-
my favorite character of all time, Bill Tench on Mindhunter.
That's right.
Yeah.
So he's around. So you may have hated him here, but he had a good
Yeah,
career.
no, honestly, I'm surprised because I thought he added absolutely nothing to this role. Every time he did like a little scary face, I could feel the director off screen going like, "Make the face, do the face,
Do what we talked about.
do the
You didn't like
Damien
that
face."
photo I sent you of John Moore directing the little boy.
No, I did. I just didn't respond to your text yesterday.
You
I
had to
was
put
busy.
ha ha, so I know.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry I didn't do the
I thought it was
ha.
such a hilarious photo.
It was. It
He's
was.
so much bigger than him.
Well, he's a tiny little child.
Yeah, he's like 5 years old. It's
Did
pretty
you see the kid from the original was in this?
funny. As an adult? No, I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
yeah. He had like one scene. He was like a paparazzi who was like asking Liev Schreiber questions.
Oh shit, he has a speaking role. I didn't
Yeah,
notice
yeah.
that. That's so cool. That's like how Danny Torrance was in the Doctor Sleep at the baseball
Yep.
game.
I had the exact same thought.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, I didn't notice
Mhm.
that. I thought, by the way, we kind of praised Postlethwaite. I thought he does a terrible job saying Megiddo. He says Megiddo or something some bullshit like that. He says like we got to go to Megiddo or Megiddo.
Oh, really?
I don't
I
know
didn't
how he
notice
said it,
that, man.
but it was like the worst job anyone's ever had pronouncing one of these words.
You
Thought
know,
he
I
sucked.
first heard of that word through a sequel because there was this schlocky franchise called the Omega Code that's like about Armageddon in like the late 90s with Casper Van Dien from Starship Troopers.
Mhm.
And I remember the sequel to that was called Megiddo, the Omen Code 2.
Oh,
Or the
shit.
Omega Code, not Omen.
The Omen code.
Yeah, the Omen Code.
That's pretty cool. He has a daughter that was in Stranger Things, Van Dien.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's like a model. Well, I mean, he was always gonna have like attractive kids. He's look at that guy. Look at that guy's.
I think she's like
development.
on. I don't think she's a model. I think she's on like Twitch. I think she's a live streamer, video gamer.
Well, that's the new models.
You're kind of right about that. Yeah, Twitch and Instagram, the new
Yeah,
models.
I think that's what Mick Foley's hot daughter does.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. All right, so we have to talk about the worst part of the movie. I think
Oh, what's the worst part of the movie?
the change that bothers me the most is the fall. Whenever mom takes the big fall, loses the baby.
Ah, okay. Now,
Okay.
I thought it was an interesting shot.
I'm not talking about the fall itself. I'm talking about the lead up to the fall. It's so
Okay.
stupid. I'm gonna tell you what happens in the original. Okay, it's mom is just walking around. She notices something up top in a little flower pot. So she pulls a stool up and she stands up to look in the flower pot. Okay. Meanwhile, Damien is in another room playing with Baylock. He's riding around his little bicycle in a room. They're like locked in a room while she's doing chores, I guess. Mom's doing chores and the nanny's staying with Damien in the other room. And Baylock realizes I'm going to cause some trouble. So Baylock opens the door and lets Damien out to ride around. And then he knocks her off, and that causes the whole thing. In this movie, mom is just watering plants, standing on a stool, watering plants as if she's going to walk around to all of them and do this, which is dangerous as hell. Okay. And Damien is already riding around. He's not locked in a room. So she's doing a more dangerous thing than the first movie, while Damien is free to do whatever
Right.
he wants, so it's way stupider. And then he
She
just rides
already
around.
suspects this kid's an asshole. Because we had that scene where he's playing video games early on, and she kicks him out of the room, even though everyone's like, "You're being an asshole." To
I didn't
Damien."
understand that. She was so mean to him in that
Yeah.
moment. He did
Well,
nothing wrong.
I think she was just over it. She was like, "Fuck this kid." By that point,
I didn't even think he'd done anything too bad by then, did he?
I wondered in that moment. Well, yeah, I don't know. He I gotta tell you, I'd have been done with that kid the second he cut my face. When they go to church,
Right.
And in this version, Damien like grabs at the mom, and she's like bleeding from the forehead.
Right. True.
She got busted open. But anyway, yeah, I wondered in that video game moment, by the way, if he was maybe playing a Dreamcast.
Oh yeah, that was your thought.
Yeah, because John Moore, he brought us the Dreamcast.
Or he was playing Max Payne, the video game.
Oh, could be. Yeah.
That would be cool. By the way, we just met Max Payne, the wrestler. We should probably say that. Or no,
That's a good
people
point.
don't care about that.
And he sued the video game Max Payne, probably won a lot of money.
Yeah, there was a settlement. So yeah, he got
That's
some
right.
money out of that. But I just hated the fall. I was like, it made the mom stupider because she's doing something so stupid while he's just riding around that thing. And it gave Baylock motivation in the first movie. Like she did something knowingly to get, and then in this one, she's not nowhere to be found. Basically, it's so dumb.
I did sort of like the fall though.
It was kind of cool. You're kind of right about that.
Yeah, it's like a overhead shot, and like you see her like descending. It's good. It's interesting. It has an interesting perspective.
You're right. I feel like I've seen that in like our really artistic
100%.
ways.
I'm not saying it's like innovative or whatever, but
Yeah,
it's
but it was
done well.
I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was probably my biggest problem was the big fall. It was like there have been so many things leading up to it, and then that moment. But
Yeah.
but anyway, and then and the way we kill mom, we like go into her room and like
Oh, that drove me nuts. Doesn't she just get like smothered with a pillow or something?
yeah, Baylock does something to her machine where she like cuts it and like the blood does something to her bloodstream, and then yeah, she like suffocates her with a pillow.
It's wild though, like in a movie where we're doing everything like bigger, better, faster, more. Like that scene was like way more low key than it is.
Probably budget reasons, as we said.
Yeah,
Couldn't have her go out the window.
$25 fucking million. Why can't you have her go out the window?
It's late in the movie. They're like, we still need to hold on to 6 million for the next scene. Let's make this.
Do you
scene
think
short.
that they shoot movies in order of the scenes? In
Sometimes they
chronological
do.
order?
No, I don't think that.
Sometimes they do. All right. This brings me to the part of the movie I hated because honestly, up to this point,
Wow.
I'm watching an Omen remake, and they're just doing all the shit from the Omen, and I like the Omen,
But way worse at every
no,
turn.
I understand that, but like I was still like enjoying myself watching the movie. But
I guess
the stuff. Can you let me finish?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just
All
so
right.
mad.
The stuff where they go to like Megiddo, like Israel or whatever, they like that's like 20 minutes in the original movie, if that.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
like
feel
35.
like I longer. I feel like it's like the second hour of this movie is all it is. Them just wandering around Israel.
I wonder if it is actually longer, if it just felt longer.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But it certainly felt longer.
No, totally. It absolutely did.
Anyway.
Maybe it's just because we knew what was happening.
And who was that guy who was like, he had like half a face or something?
I don't know what you're talking about.
There was like a monster in this movie.
There's a monster?
Like, I don't know. They run into somebody in Israel who like gives them information, a lot of exposition, and he's got like half a face. You don't know what I'm talking about?
Maybe. I watched both of these, and I also watched the Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and there's like a crazy dog with a man's face in that movie. And that's kind of all I've been thinking about the last 3 days is that dog with the man's face. Like if I was a little boy and I'd seen that movie, I would have dreamt of that for 4 years straight, probably. That was so scary. You guys know what I'm talking about, probably.
Yeah, I do.
Look it up. Dog with a man's face. So spooky.
All right.
But Michael Gambon was pretty good. I don't know what else happened.
I don't know.
I liked.
Here's another good example though of like him like amping up everything. John Moore. I like how at the end when Liev is trying to kill Damien, the dudes who shoot him, they've got like sniper rifles.
Oh, seriously?
They're all like they got like red lasers trained on them.
Wow. Do they really have red lasers?
Yeah.
I think that's a show just showing the gun technology since 1976.
Oh, could be. Yeah, it's evolved.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It reminds me of Planet of the Apes. And isn't there a moment in Planet of the Apes where we like talk about guns forever? In the remake of Planet of the Apes?
I don't remember.
There's like a scene where
you mean the Mark Wahlberg Planet of the Apes?
Right, where that guy comes in from Bowling for Columbine. What's that guy's name?
Michael Moore?
No, not Michael Moore. The guy at the end, we go visit him. The guy Charlton Heston.
Oh,
Charlton. He comes back and delivers this whole monologue about guns in the Planet of the Apes remake while he's dying or some. It's the weirdest scene ever.
They should put Michael Moore in a Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I bet he could do motion capture for an ape.
Has he ever made a real movie or only documentary?
Yeah, he made one fiction film called Canadian Bacon with John Candy.
Oh, all right.
Sort of worth a look, but not great.
But that's it. Yeah, we kill Liev Schreiber. And then we see the president again, and Damien smiles at the camera. John Moore was like, do the smile we talked about.
Yeah, do the
right
thing.
now. Right now.
Yeah.
Go. Yeah, little more. Oh, little less. Oh, perfect. Yeah, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. Very obedient child actor. All right, what do you give the Omen remake?
I don't know. My take on the Omen, the original, is that movie is like, it's an interesting movie on its own, like on a script and story level. It's fascinating, like it's a great idea. But a lot of what makes that first movie is the directing. And this movie is like, what if the Omen, but it had like the worst director? Not that that John Moore's the worst director, but it's going from like so classy to
it's going from the guy who made Superman 1 to the guy who made Die Hard 5.
It's a perfect way to put it. Yeah. And that's exactly what you get here. So I kind of want to go 1 out of principle, but it's the Omen. So I think I'm probably going to go 2.
All right. I wanted to go 3 because I was going to make this joke. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
I give it a 3, 1 for each 6.
Wow.
Yeah. But I can't in all good conscience do that. I'm going to go with a 2.
If you went 3, that would mean you think it's better than the third and fourth one, right?
And I don't think that. I do think it's better than the fourth one.
I don't really know about that. I'm not really
Yeah.
sure.
All
Not
right.
so sure. My MVP is going to be Mia Farrow. I'm just gonna stick with it.
Wow, Mia, the great Mia Farrow.
It's not her fault. She said, "I'm here to protect you," rather than the. It's not her fault. She
No,
should have put
I
her
guess-
foot down and just said it anyway.
I don't
That would've
know,
been
man.
great.
I'd love to see the script if it said the and she changed it.
No way. Why would she do that?
I don't know. I would hate it.
If that's true, then she's the LVP. But that's fan fiction. I don't think that's true.
That is fan fiction. My MVP, I'm gonna go with one of the best actresses of her generation, Julia Stiles.
Whoa.
That's right.
Never saw this coming for a single second.
Really?
Never. We barely talked about her.
I thought she was good.
Never would have thought that.
Added some gravitas to the film, added some relatability.
Vulnerability way more than
Vul-
Liev.
Yep.
So that's why I'm gonna go Liev for the LVP.
All right. And my LVP, Damien.
Wow, yeah, you hated Damien. I
Yeah.
didn't hate him that much. Sometimes
No
I
good.
did, but other times I thought he was all right. He handled himself well. So there's the Omen remake. It's shit. Hope you don't watch it.
Some people like it.
Really? Is it only because I haven't seen the original?
No, you like my girlfriend is a big fan of this Omen remake.
I'm gonna make a comparison. The Omen remake is Red Dragon, and the Omen is Manhunter. Like I can understand not liking this if you've never seen Manhunter, but if you've seen Manhunter, how can you like Red Dragon?
Look, our listeners, William Anastasio and James Davis, both gave this a 3.
Wow, and they were just watched it.
I
Or no.
guess.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I really didn't like it.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't
Maybe
know.
it was this experience of watching them so close together.
Maybe. Yeah, that might hurt matters. All
But
right.
you liked it more than I did. So
I did. April 5th, 2024 was the release date.
why didn't they put it off 2 more months?
What, for
Doesn't-
June 6th?
Yeah, it really doesn't make sense. Like if you're
Uh,
putting out an Omen movie, why would you not always do that?
They should have waited, just kept it on the shelf for 2 years. Released it June 6th, 2026.
Yeah, 6/6/26.
Yeah. All right. So this had been in development for a little while. It was originally set to be directed by a fellow named Antonio Campos.
Oh, I feel like I know him. Who's that?
He did like The Devil Inside Me, I think, and also the Staircase, like the scripted version of The Staircase.
Wow, weird
Yeah.
choice.
But he was gonna do it and backed out, I guess. But we replaced that dude with Arkasha Stevenson, and this is her first feature, I believe.
Sure is.
Yeah, and she co-wrote it with her pal Tim Smith, who is her regular co-writer, and who's done some cool shit in his own right. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Am I right about that?
I feel like I didn't really know him, but you have to tell me.
What? Yeah, he worked on this show, your brand new cherry flavor on Netflix. That was pretty cool.
I don't know.
Anyway, he's done some interesting shit. Anyway, they work together mostly, and we also got a writing credit for a fellow named Keith Thomas in there. And did you know that this was originally made for Hulu?
I did not know that.
It was gonna debut on Hulu. And then they were like, hey, it's pretty good. And it cost more money than they thought it was going to. And they were like, let's put it out for a theatrical, see how it does. That did okay. It has a $30 million budget, and it made 53.7 in theaters.
I wish I saw it in theater. I wanted to support
I
it.
kind of do too. But I haven't seen shit in theaters this year. It
I've seen
came
a
in
little
at
bit.
number 27 at the box office. And the movies it's sandwiched in between, I've never heard of either one of them. And I'm like, how are there 2 movies like up there on the box office list from this year that I've never even heard of?
What do we got?
All right, one of them's called Unsung Hero,
I don't know it.
and one of them's called Cabrini.
I don't know it either.
You don't know either one of them?
Nope. I feel like I might have heard of the first one.
All right. It's a faith movie. That's why it's Christian. I just looked it up. And what's the other one? Cabrini.
Cabrini.
I wonder if it's about the Cabrini Green projects.
Hmm.
No, it's about an Italian immigrant named Francesca Cabrini who embarks on a daring journey in the slums of New York. And looks like it's it's got John Lithgow in it. I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
All right. So I mean that made enough money that it's only like it's one below the First Omen. That's wild.
Maybe is it still going? Maybe it'll keep trucking along past those movies.
I don't think it is still going because now it's on Hulu.
Oh shit.
Where I watched it.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Anyway, did you see Unsung Hero or Cabrini? Let us know. Okay. That's all I got. Let's talk about the movie, huh?
They're probably like freaking Exorcist got released in theaters. Why can't we? We're better than that shit.
Well, Logan, it's finally happened.
What?
There was an actor I didn't recognize. I thought she was great, and I looked her up, and she was in a bunch of episodes of Game of Thrones.
No way. What do we
It
got?
finally happened. It was for years. This has been going on. I'd see an actor in something. They're terrible. I don't recognize them from anything else. Look them up. Game of Thrones. It was a plague on the land. But now, someone good.
Nell, she's in Game of Thrones?
That's right. The main character of this film, Nell Scott. What's her name? Nell Tiger Free.
That's right.
She plays
Great name.
Margaret. Yeah, she was a Game of Throneser.
Well, not to me. To me, she's a servant. She was in the Apple show Servant, made by
Right.
M. Night. And she's
M.
the
Night.
main star of that show.
She's
But
the main star.
She's the lead of that show, yeah.
Is she the titular servant?
She is, yeah. And she's great, but she's playing like a not human. So you never get to see her. She's in this movie, she's by far the most human I've ever seen her. And I loved her. I thought she was incredible. Love to see everything she ever does.
Yeah, I thought this was a spectacular star-making role for Nell Tiger Free.
And Servant, she's just creepy. So it made sense she was in this role. I knew this movie was gonna go where like she was obviously gonna be the mother of Damien or whatever. I don't know if you knew that.
Well, I wasn't sure because there's that other character
right
in this named Carlita, who, by the way, I also thought was excellent.
Yes.
The actress, Nicole Sarase or whatever.
And the other one too, the sexy one. I thought they were all great.
You mean Luce?
Luce, yeah.
I know. Yeah, you know how much I liked Luce is like I felt like a genuine pang of sorrow at the end of the movie when it was revealed that Luce was part of the conspiracy.
Same. I'm not kidding. Same. Yeah, it happened. I was like, oh my God, like I actually feel sadness right now.
Yeah, it like I felt betrayed.
Same. I didn't feel it when the Bill Nighy's turn. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But when her friend was like obviously on the bad side, I was like, oh no, this sucks.
Because I really thought that her like taking her out to the club at the beginning, like before they exchanged their like nun vows, was like an act of friendship. Totally. I thought it was very sweet and like trying to help her come out of her shell a little bit. It wasn't though, because the whole thing was a setup to get her fucked. Because you know who else was in that lineup of traitors at the end?
The boyfriend?
No, not the boyfriend, because he got signed to death.
Oh, but he's there when he gets her pregnant. I was thinking,
yeah,
not at the very end,
but his friend.
Right. Yeah, I guess I didn't think that she was in on the whole setup of it.
I was furious.
Yeah, it sucks.
All right, anyway.
But yeah, she's great. No, very excited for her.
So, I mean, I just saw this movie Immaculate a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And someone wrote in and asked if we felt that this was an and twins situation.
The answer is yes.
Okay. And the answer is yes. These movies are incredibly similar.
That other one just doesn't have the copyright to Damien.
Yeah. But you know what? Normally, I'd be team no copyright.
But here, this one's
I think this is a much more artistically resonant film.
Felt really full. Like at no point, I was like, I looked at it and I was like, oh, 2 hours, but it kind of flies by. It's kind of action packed and
it's a little long.
You know what? I didn't like the. I felt at one point like the conjuringification of the Omen. You know, there are like a few like really
Yeah,
spooky scenes,
you're right.
and I was like, this is like the Conjuring we're
There's
doing
some
right here.
early scenes that were very nunny.
Very nunny, very nunny. But I felt a lot of the first Conjuring movie also. But yeah, I felt like we didn't exactly need that. But I remember complaining last week, like I've never been scared in an Omen, and here I kind of was the most of any of them. I don't know if it really translated to what else was happening, but I felt
What
a little
about
bit
when
of
that
fear.
claw comes out of that pussy?
I wasn't
Know what I'm
scared. I was
saying? Know what I'm
grossed
saying?
out,
I was
obviously,
incredibly grossed out.
but I wasn't like spooked.
But it was
You
like
know?
a demon claw just reaching out of a vagina. I never expected to see that image.
Yeah, that whole scene was very well. This whole movie is very well directed. I'm excited for the director, Arkasha Stevenson.
Nah, that she's the real star. Like as excited as I am for like Nell Tiger Free or whatever, Arkasha Stevenson comes out of the gate swinging.
Yeah.
Everything in this film feels intentional. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
like everything is a choice, and they don't all work. But I'm like, she's making choices here.
From the
Like,
opening shot, I mean, it's like of trees, and then the camera goes down, and we see them like raising the thing that's later going to kill the priest. It's like everything's super intentional. All the different fades to black, and then like somebody walking, like starting with like their jacket, their coat to the camera, and then they
yeah.
walk out. Like
What
everything
about
is
that
like,
shot that it's like a real like intense close up of a spider on an eyelash,
yeah,
and then it comes out and it's just like her waking up and she
yeah,
brushes the spider. It's fucking
amazing,
wild. And her hair, like when she wakes up, is in like
perfectly coiffed out,
it's
like
it,
displayed.
it's yeah, it's done sculpturally. It's interesting.
No, like no, seriously. If I was Nell Tiger Free, I would make that photo like my computer wallpaper. You know, it's beautiful. Or if I was the director, I would do that too. I was just like, that's such
Nell Tiger Free should latch on to this lady. Make
yeah, like
her.
bottoms, like
Yeah.
what's her
Rachel
name?
Sennott.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do what she did.
she's got to just like latch on to Arkasha Stevenson, try to be in whatever she does.
That'd be great. Yeah, I agree with that.
There should be a team.
Yeah,
All right.
Kasha and Nell taking on
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah, they are. They're taking on the world. All right. What else we got?
I mean, okay.
I wasn't
So,
sure about the opening.
oh
The
really? I really like
the
the opening.
I liked how it was shot and stuff, and like the sort of stained glass and the thing, but the shot of like his head,
Yeah.
it looks bad.
I know. Remind me like
It's
the
it's
underworld or whatever, but
it's kind of like the one notably bad looking effect in the entire movie. It just
mm,
unfortunately happens like straight off the bat.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. I didn't love the part where she sets herself on fire. I thought was okay, but the jump I thought didn't look amazing. I thought it looked a little like
What jump?
uh when she hangs herself. I thought it looked a
I
little
was
like
fine with that,
early
bro.
Harry Potter movies.
Oh, it was not that bad at all.
I
Nah.
got those vibes. But the
That
fire looked
character was
good.
good too. She had these creepy blonde eyebrows. Hey, listen, if you want to make a character creepy, give her dark hair but blonde eyebrows.
That's a good call. Yeah.
Yeah, that worked
Yeah.
for me.
She was good. Her name is Ishtar Curry Wilson.
No, but what's the character's name?
Who cares? Sister Angelica. Why is that
Thank
matter?
you. Nah, I just wanted to remember
All
because
right.
I
Sister
was so
Angelica.
invested. I was genuinely invested in like all the characters. Like when Sister Angelica died, like that scene was cool or whatever. But I was like, oh, I was looking forward to like following Sister Angelica around a little more.
We thought she was cute. But I liked I thought Sister Angelica's introduction was scary. She's like doing something weird on the stairs, and we meet her, and then we're like, she's like, "I'm Sister Angelica." It's like, why are you just staring at the wall on the stairs? What a fucking weirdo. Uh, but that was all very
Yeah.
cool.
I know, and like the nun is like she's great with the kids. And I'm like, she is like she seems like a nut.
No, she's apparently amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I expected the kids. I thought like something more horrific was going to go on. Like the kids hated being there, but the kids they're kind of just background characters. The kids, but I don't know. So we like lose or whatever. I don't know. We go out. It's a great night. Loved that scene. The whole thought it
I
was great.
loved it. I could have watched an entire movie of like if it was just like these two nuns before they do their vows going out for a night on the town. We're just gonna follow them around for 90 minutes. That would have been a good movie.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think when I mean it's so action packed, we had so many turns where I was like, oh, this could be the whole movie, and then like another thing would happen. I was like, oh, this could be the whole movie, but it's
Yeah.
like it's not. They like the plots end quickly, wrap up, and then we move on to other stuff. But then they all kind of come together. It's really well done, honestly. This is a good movie. But everybody's saying that we're not original or whatever. But so there's a photo of a baby.
My girlfriend did not like it. She prefers the 2006 Omen remake.
Whoa, I
All right.
disagree.
I mean, me too. I was blown away by that. But you know, teach their own.
Of course, of course.
She also said she preferred Immaculate, which I thought was nuts. Yeah.
So we see a photo and there's a baby. We think it's little Carlita, right? But it turns out it's Margaret, right?
Yeah.
But we don't. Why did Carlita have the 666 in her mouth?
Well,
there are multiple people with 666 on their body.
Carlito was an early experiment of this program to create like an antichrist. All right. See, they keep trying it. That's the conspiracy here. They're trying to make an antichrist, but they keep coming out deformed. Carlita's the first one that came out undeformed, but she's a woman and they're going for a dude. Okay. But then they're like, Margaret.
And they can't get Carlita pregnant yet because she's not old enough, is a thing.
I think the big thing in this movie is they make a point to be like, people aren't going to church anymore. So it's like they're trying to raise the Antichrist because in times of trouble,
we'll go to church.
People go to church. And so, yeah, they just need the one.
Yeah, I guess you're right about that. See, I was watching this. I was like, oh no, Daniel might have a problem with that. But I guess you didn't, because it's not like the movie's not preaching like we should all go back to church. It's just like honestly how crazy religious people are.
Yeah. This was the crazy people in the church trying to get people to go back.
I thought I was gonna have to defend
like
this
the most fucked up way possible.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome how they treat them. They're insane. But yeah, so that's cool. But then, it turns out that she's the one. So we get her pregnant. That's a great, cool scene there. All right. So anyway, what happens? We realize, Bill Nye is what happened? Was there other plot points that we're missing? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm boring myself just going through the plot. It doesn't really interest me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not that interested either. Like there's, of course, like the stuff where like she goes off with like the Brennan from the original.
He was great. The guy from The Witch. What's his name? I forget. Ralph Ineson.
Yeah,
he's awesome.
And his partner in the movie is Father Gabriel, which made me think of The Walking Dead.
Totally. Little John Moore shout out there.
Yeah, but
I hated
Glenn Mazzara, not John Moore.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, I didn't like Father. He's my LVP.
Oh, I sort of like that.
Yeah, I actually wrote down for the LVP. I wrote Father Gabriel and then The Conjuring. I thought that was pretty funny. Gives them the LVP. Yeah.
Well, I don't got anything else to say. I mean, I
like the old woman. So her name, actor Sonia Braga, played Sister Silva.
Good.
She was amazing.
And I like
spooky.
The Sign's death.
Yes, I'm glad that we talked about that. The guy gets pinned. It's totally like, I thought it went on a little long. I was like, oh shit, I knew exactly what was gonna happen. Like she's gonna lift him up. It's just gonna be his torso half, and then it went on a little long. But I love anything like that makes me think about Signs. I love thinking about Signs.
I know you do.
Ever. I kind of thought about it.
Movie ever.
I thought I was gonna have to defend it. Like I thought you were gonna be like, "This is like Signs. It's about like how religion is good," and I was like, "No, it's not."
No, I didn't feel that way at all.
I know you don't. That was my worry watching it, though.
Okay, I like that you worry about what my reactions are gonna be to things.
Yeah, well, I think I'm more worried for myself. Like I'm gonna have to defend it, but I didn't want to. I was like, "What? I'm gonna have to defend that."
No, I thought this was pretty great. It's interestingly made. It's well lit. Yeah, that's important to me. it doesn't feel like all the other horror movies that are coming out right now. And I feel like a lot of the horror movies that are coming out right now are feeling awfully samey. I think it's why I responded to that shitty movie Imaginary so much, just because it's like sillier than other shit that's coming out right now. And I appreciate that it's giving something else. Everything right now is just like really self-serious and obsessed with trauma dynamics and stuff.
Bodies was silly.
Yeah, that was fun. But I'm talking about like stuff like Smile and the Black Phone, things like
Skinamarink.
yeah. But this to me felt notably
Classy.
different.
So classy. I felt.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's the kind of movie where you almost want to give the director MVP. But I'll go with Nell.
Me too. I like the moment where she realizes like does she look on her head? I don't know. It's when she realizes that she has it on her and she looks right at the camera. Did you like that moment?
Yeah, I did.
That was scary. Really got me. I was like, whoa, don't look at me like that. That's so scary. But it really worked. It really worked. I didn't love the ending where the guy shows back up and he's like, they named it Damien. Cut to black.
They didn't need that at all.
Not
Fuck
at
that
all.
epilogue. It was like the fucking Harry Potter thing, like Albus Severus. But
Yeah.
like, it should have just ended with her like escaping with the baby.
I thought it was a cool ending. Yeah.
You see that flaming jackal.
Yeah. It was cool.
That's all
I didn't
you
love
need,
that
man.
ending.
Yeah, no, you could keep that shit.
Yeah, totally. But
If
really good movie.
anything, maybe it should have been like a post-credit scene.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
Pretty good one. Margaret will return in the second Omen.
The second Omen.
I'll go MVP Nell. You agree?
By the way, I hate the title. I think it's a misleading title. It's not the first Omen. It's like the Omen is about Damien, right? And this sets that up. It's just a prequel.
Right. It's not an Omen before Damien. It's just how
No.
Damien became to be.
Yeah.
I said became to be. I meant came to be. But yeah, you're right about that.
I think it should have been titled like an Exorcist prequel. How about this? Damien, prequel to The Omen.
I'm fine with that. Yeah. I hate it because it's like, it's now every time we're like the first Omen. No, not it's like the Purge. It's like how we do that. Like the first Purge, not the first Purge, but the Purge.
The first Purge, part 5 of whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the first Purge? Not the one they renamed it the first Purge, but
not the first Purge, but the first Purge. Yeah.
The Purge, 2012, whatever year that was. But yeah, so I don't love it there. But should we rank them or what?
Yeah, let's do it.
Are we including the show?
Nah.
Okay. So we have 6 films here. How do you want to do it?
I'll give you my list.
Okay.
The best one is the original.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. The second best one is this new one. All right. The third best one, Damien, The Omen 2.
You're doing a great job.
All right. The fourth best one, you know what? I think I'm going to go with the remake.
Okay.
All right. Fifth best one, Final Conflict. Sixth best one, the TV movie.
Okay. So it's a little similar, but a little different. So I'm going to go with the Omen number 1, the first Omen number 2. I feel like that confused me. The newest one, number 2. Number 3, Damien Omen 2. Number 4, The Final Conflict. Number 5, Omen 4, The Awakening. And then last place, I'm going with the Omen remake.
Yeah. So I just pushed the remake up 2 slots.
Exactly.
And everything else was the same.
I was just so pissed off the whole time.
I know you were. Jesus.
I was so fucking angry. I usually don't get like that, honestly. It's like one of the most frustrated I've been watching a movie my whole life.
All right, what's next week on the show, Logan?
All right, next week, guys. I don't know how this came to be. Was this you just picked this? You wanted to do
I've
this?
been wanting to cover this since Henry was my co-host. And last night the reprehensible Florida Panthers won the Stanley Cup, avoiding the reverse sweep against the Edmonton Oilers. And so to me, when hockey season ends, that's truly when baseball season begins.
All right, didn't know that.
All right. So even though they've been going since whatever April or whatever, um, let's do a baseball franchise, gang. We've done a few in our time. Major League, maybe another one. I don't remember, but we're gonna talk about the
The
Bad
bench
News
warmers.
Bears. Come on, you interrupted me when I was doing the
I thought you were
announcement.
gonna set it up a little more.
No, no. Did we do the bench warmers?
No, we didn't. I
We
don't even.
should.
That's a sequel though, right? There's a
I
sequel.
remember I watched the sequel to the bench warmers on a like remember Netflix Party?
No,
That was a
before my
thing.
time.
No. It's not before your time. It was during COVID. You could
Oh, you did it with Looney Tunes back in action, didn't you?
yeah, I did it with my friend Eric, but I also
Right.
Netflix partied Benchwarmers 2 on a Tinder date.
Why would you do that? There are so many movies you could
She
watch.
chose it. She chose it.
That's the last time you talked to her. I bet.
I honestly don't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. Let's next week we're
Why are we
starting
talking about that? Yeah.
I don't know. The Bad News Bears.
That's
okay.
right. The first two, right?
Right. So we're covering the original from the 70s with Walter Matthau, and then the sequel, The Bad News Bears in Breaking Training. And then the following week, we will do The Bad News Bears Go to Japan and the Richard Linklater remake, The Bad News Bears, with Billy Bob Thornton.
Okay. Why do they go to Japan? There's a baseball tournament in Japan?
Yeah, and you can make a lot of fun racial jokes.
Right. Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare. Oh, man.
All right. So get pumped for the Bad News Bears. Listen out for patreon.com/the franchise. We got a lot coming your way. A horror movie thing at some point. He Swift is coming back soon. But this week, definitely the Sunday Night Wars with Slamboree and King of the Ring 2000 or sorry 1993.
Whoa.
And also Buffy. The episodes are Flooded and Angels. Carpe Noctem this week.
What's first? Angel?
Angel, yeah. And then also anything else?
I want to say Michael Babcock's the one that left a comment about the First Omen and Immaculate. So shout out to Michael Babcock.
And I do think it counts.
Yeah, I do too.
Twins.
Yeah, it's just they couldn't mention Damien, basically.
Yeah, basically.
But so there we go. Benchwarmers. Or not Benchwarmers, Bad News Bears coming up next week.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Bad News Bears next week. Walter Matthau edition. He's only in the first one, though. All right. And we'll also see a very young Jackie Earl Haley.
Should we rank baseball movies? I haven't seen that many baseball
And,
movies. Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off. I know that one.
That's a movie?
Yeah, that's like a guy wants to be a chef, but his dad wants him to play baseball.
All right.
And he's
Listen,
like, what are
we
you,
can rank-
gay? You want to cook? Only women cook. That's like what the dad says to him.
We could cover baseball movies next week. Once and for all, we can decide what's better, Rookie of the Year or Little Big League.
Yeah, we've all been wondering. Probably
Yeah.
Moneyball will be the best one. How's it
That's
going?
probably up there, yeah. Anyway, stay tuned and
Happy upside down crucifixes.